Hello, hello, hello. Today we embark on a brand new Let's Learn Guitar series. We're going for Dream Theater's Images and Words in its entirety from front to back. Every single guitar lick, every rhythm, every riff, every single time change as well. And we know how many damn time changes there are in a Dream Theater song, right? Now this one's going to be a little bit different than my previous series. Now if you haven't seen my previous series, you should go watch that. We did Let's Learn Kill 'Em All by Metallica. Now, technically speaking, that one's moons in another direction, right? Because here, we're going to be really challenging ourselves, okay? But we're going to go in depth on every single thing that we need to learn here. So, starting right out with Dream Theater's first and only hit song, Pull Me Under, is coming up. Now let's take a deep dive into the iconic introduction riff to Pull Me Under. Now this was the first Dream Theater song I had ever heard in my entire life. And let me say, it changed me. It changed me for the better. And it probably changed a lot of other people too when they first heard it. With its lush delays and chorus and reverb and just a great progression in general. Great riff. Now let's take a look at what's actually happening here. Now this is one of those things that captivates you as soon as you hear it. Now what's so captivating about it? I'll venture to say it's this pedal point E. Now that pedal point in E sets the tone of the E minor atmosphere that we're looking at here. Now believe it or not, there is a progression going on. It just has an E on the bottom every single time. So that E creates a nice bed for us to rely on. We're relying on that E to be there pretty much the entire time. And then toward the end of the progression, it shifts very slightly. So it keeps you nice and consistent on that E, and then you're kind of riding with it a little bit. And then right at the end, it pulls you into another direction, and then right back into the same part. And this part is so good that it repeats many times. All right, now, the first, I believe, 6 times that we go through it, all right, it just starts off with the guitar, then the drums come in, and then the little keyboard lick. So let's figure out what's going on here. So we start off with this E, open E string, and we're going to the 7th fret of the D string, which is the note A, and then hitting the G, the open G. Now all that's going on here is we're creating an E minor 11 sound. You can either call it an E minor 11 or an E minor with an added 4th. You know, it doesn't matter because that A is the 4th or the 11th. Alright, so that's your E minor 11 or 4. And then we go to this E minor add 9 with the F sharp on the D string 4th fret. Okay, so still, we're just on an E minor chord, but we're just moving that one note on the D string. Now to continue on, we go to the 4th fret of the A string. Now this is a little fancy thing there. That's a C sharp, indicating that we're now in a Dorian mode. Alright, so we have that natural 6th in the E minor scale. And then we flat the 6th to that C, right? And of course, the E and the G remain consistent through all of them. Okay? And that flat 6 really just has just a very mystical type of sound. It just reminds me of being in Dracula's villa, you know. Anyway, let's keep going. So after that C, we go into this D6 chord. All right. Now, what makes it a D6? Well, we're hitting the open D string, so that's our root. Then you're hitting the 2nd fret of the G, which is the 5th, and then the B, which is a 6th in the key of D, right? So that's your D6. And then we come back in. to the intro, right? We do the whole thing over again. The natural 6, the flat 6. Now this time, every other time, it goes to an F chord. Now this F chord is an F, an A, which is the major third, and then the B, the open B string, a sharp 11. So that's an F major with a sharp 11. Also known as a Neapolitan second chord. It's the flat 2 of the E minor, since usually the 2 is F sharp, but this time we're flatting it to give it that extra pull, right, in that direction. But overall, just incredibly well written. Incredibly well written. You gotta give John Petrucci a lot of credit for writing that, because it just simply is incredible. Now, as we move on through that introduction, there's a slight change on the last 2 times before the song really kicks in, and this is where we have the open E and B string, right, ringing out in between the riff. It's the same concept. You just added a slightly different thing in there to add a little bit more to it. Right? So that E and B string just give that nice ringing effect. It's almost like the pedal point on the other side of the guitar. So you have a pedal point on the low part, the low E, and a pedal point on the high E and the B going throughout. And it just adds to that ethereal type of vibe that they're going for. So as that intro progresses and Portnoy comes in with his drum fill, da, 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 we just have this little power chord thing going from D to E. It's the 5th and the 7th fret of the A string. Right? Just do a real quick slides. Go C to F, so the progression remains exactly the same, right? We're doing D to E, which is the root, right? Flat 7 going to the root. Do that 3 times, and then we go E, C, C, D, D. 3, 4, flat 7 to root, flat 7 to root, and flat 6 to the flat 2. Now let me layer both of those parts simultaneously so you can hear what they both sound like together. So after that long intro, we continue playing the intro. So welcome to part 3 of the intro. Now, all we're doing is taking the first part of the intro and just making it heavier. Alright? Now I'll play it for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So as you can see, this riff is just a heavier version of what we played before, alright? Now how we start is with 3 chugs on the open E string. Okay? Now, to deal with the 11th chord, they're literally playing a perfect 4th interval, which, as we'll learn, is an 11th. So 4 equals 11. Always remember that. Okay? Now, we resolve to the D and the G here. Another perfect 4th. So you can think of this as an inverted power chord motion. Alright? Now when you have an E, a D, and a G all together, that's an E minor 7th chord, or at least implies an E minor 7th chord. So every chord that we play within this heavy riff just resolves back to E minor 7. Right? So it keeps it kind of simple. Now, of course, in between, let's not forget the signature 4 chug, right? After the 4 chug, we continue on with the chord progression, and we do a 4th to 5th perfect 4th motion. 4th fret to 5th fret. Now, here we have a C sharp and an F sharp played together. Now the F sharp we remember from the introduction as being the 9th, okay? But it didn't include the C sharp in that. But here they're including it a little bit earlier as a precursor, okay? So this can be seen as a major 6, 9, a 69, alright? Going to the minor 7th. Now, to circumvent being too repetitive, when they go to the actual C sharp chord, they play a power chord, a regular old 5th, right? Then resolving to that minor 7th type of thing. But it creates a tritone motion between those 2 chords. So very dissonant and sounds way cooler. Now after those last 3 chugs, we go into the last part of the chord progression, which is B, C, D. Alright? So nothing really special going on there. That's right in the key of E minor with the 5 chord, the flat 6 chord, and the flat 7th chord. Now we repeat the entire thing again. 11 to minor 7, 6, 9 to the minor 7, then the major 6 chord again, then 5 to flat 6 to the flat 2. Okay, so same function as the introduction, but we're just playing power chords. We're making it heavy. Okay, so to keep it moving, we keep playing the same riff, but we add in a couple extra chugs in there, alright? And I'll show you what I mean. Extra chugs, extra chugs. Extra chug, extra chug. 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 Flat 2. So, nothing too crazy going on there. Just add the extra chug at the ending, and you got this whole album down. We can put it away right now. Okay, so we're almost into the verse riff. Now, we're already almost 2 minutes into the song, and the words haven't started yet? What are these guys thinking? Are they a bunch of clowns? No, we're musicians here. We don't care if a song takes 2 minutes or 6 minutes to get started. If it's good, right? Damn it. Alright, anyway. So let's analyze, or maybe overanalyze this part, because I'm going to bring in the drums with this as well. The guitar part for this setup is very simple, okay? So all the guitar is doing is right on the downbeat, we're hitting 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, 1E, 2E, 3E, 4E, okay? Now, what made this so difficult for me to learn when I was first starting out with this song, or, you know, getting introduced to Dream Theater and more difficult guitar, is I didn't know where the guitar was supposed to land. I was just feeling it out, you know. I didn't really know how to count at that point. But I'm teaching you how to count. Now, the drums are what make this a little bit different, right? So what's going on with this snare drum is Portnoy is playing this rhythm like this. A 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a boom. And then it goes right into the verse riff. So that's what makes it, you know, feel kind of off but on at the same time, because yeah, the snare's hitting on both the weak and the strong beat, and then the guitar is hitting on strong then the weak beat. Okay, so it might seem like I'm analyzing this a little too far into the ground, but hey, that's what YouTube is for. It's a bunch of people nerding out on dumb crap. Alright, so I'm actually going to show you a side-by-side comparison of what the snare is doing and what the guitar is doing, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay everyone, that'll conclude this segment of Pull Me Under, but stick around for part 2 coming out pretty soon. We're going to go even deeper and deeper and deeper in on it.